are you doing after the 3-0?
We're going to go ahead and throw this over to the casters. MacDo and Gungeon are going to be able to pick up this interview for us. It's okay. A little difficult to get interviews lined up when they're sitting in the room quietly, but MacDo and Gungeon, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks so much, Analyst Says. No worries. Peekaboo, we're hearing from you for the second time today. Heard you a little bit at the start of the stream. You talked with Gungeon before the season started up here. How are you feeling after the first series is all finished up?
It just feels good. We definitely had a bad taste in our mouth after not doing as well in playoffs like we wanted to. So to come out of here and just get a 3-0 to start just puts a lot better taste in our mouths than getting knocked out of playoffs like we did before.
Not just a 3-0. Sorry, Mac. I didn't want to cut you off, but these are my boys. I've claimed them from last season. I'm claiming them again. Not only a 3-0, a dominant 3-0. And I want you to talk me through it because again, this is it's not that you haven't played jungle, but this is kind of your first time playing jungle in XLNC mid league. And you said it yourself when I was grabbing you. You put on a bit of a clinic. Talk to me about what this clinic was about and how you felt going into those games, especially as the jungler for this team.
It's made it really easy. When we come in, we talk about 2v2s right at the start of the game, and we knew where our advantages were. And then game 2 there, when I was playing volleyball, I just kind of was like, hey, I want to cheese. I want to do something funny, and I just want to have some fun with it. I'm like, I'm doing buff to buff to buff. And then I saw the mid laner was pushed up. I'm like, well, I'm going to gank the mid laner now, and then got him. And I was like, I'm going to do scuttle. And then my bot lane had pressure. I was like, bot lane, go keep the jungler distracted while I do this scuttler, and then I'll come right over and get the other scuttle too. I'm at it. So it just kind of all worked out perfectly. And I was just like, well, it's kind of easy when your teammates make it this easy on you in jungle. So...
No, definitely felt like, again, you mentioned it, buff to buff to buff, kind of felt like a checklist at a certain point in game number 2. But I want to throw it back to game number 1. Obviously, you guys brought out the late game Tristanic, Kindred, Azir, Ornn comp. But in game number 1, obviously, you're seeing, as the jungler, Skiz gets the solo kill. Then you're watching Azir kind of do these massive Shurima shuffles. How does it just to feel when, obviously you guys are lane swapping and playing these new roles when everyone's kind of playing up to par, not even up to par, but playing really well in their lanes. How does it feel as the jungler? How does it feel in terms of the team-wide communications and the morale? And what are you guys excited for kind of to show to some of the rest of the teams?
It feels good, especially since I was inting on Kindred early game. It was like my 3rd, 4th time playing it, but LS, said it's the best tier. So we played it, and I was definitely inting early on. So to have them actually just kind of carry the game early on and let me get to a point where I could actually do something, it felt good. And the communication with our new support has helped so much early game where I can just go in and make these invades. And we just have everyone around there because me and him are communicating and everyone just listened to the calls. And it's just a lot better communication system that we have this time around than we did last time. So I think we're all trying to prove that we're the best team here and that we're the best players here also.
And you mentioned him, your support, Jushbox, coming into this. Obviously, you guys had fits. And again, your bot lane last season was a solid pillar bot lane. It did its job. It scaled into the late game. It did damage, and it kind of did its job. But now with Jushbox, and it showed up in game number 1 where I'm not saying it was close. The game itself was close. It was going back and forth, and Jushbox made the plays that really won. The picks he got on Nautilus onto the Victor, onto the Vayne, pretty much just ended the game right then and there. Kind of talk about how you are introducing him into the team. Again, I'm not saying that he's new, because I know you've told me that he's played with Epic before, so he's not a new member, but he is a new member into this team and into the mid-league. How are you guys bringing him in, and what does he bring that's kind of refreshing or added this kind of new level up to No Fear Wolves?
Yeah, in a sense, it was really easy. He kind of just clicked with everyone. So it wasn't like it was awkward or anything, or like we had to do much. He kind of fit the player style that we wanted to do, which be a lot more aggressive. And once we know we had the advantage, press it instead of just waiting for them to throw or something and let's just sit there for a while. So he just brought a lot of that we've been missing and we wanted. So like I said, it was really easy for him to just step in and just do it. And we've been seeing success like we saw tonight here ever since it's been happening.
I mean, that's exactly what you want. Obviously, you bring a new player and he meshes into the style of the team, the communication of the team, and you guys pick up wins. Going into next week, I believe you guys are playing against. Sorry, I had it pulled up, but I just Divine Ascension Obsidian, another team that's kind of being brought up. They're being brought up from the light league. What are your thoughts on them? What are your thoughts going into that next match? And what are your thoughts going into the rest of the teams? Again, you have been called out by CB Rush, a team that has the Meme City Esports core. You have been called out by teams like Fever as one of those top teams. What is your message to Divine Ascension Obsidian next week and to all the other teams that have watched kind of this dominance in week number 1?
I mean, a message to every other team is we're coming for you. Simple as that. We're coming for you. And for me personally, I want to go against Acid because I think he's the best jungler here, and I'm trying to make that difference and say I'm the best. So he's my competition. I'm ready to take down the MVP.
Ooh, spicy. Mac, do you have anything for MVP of the series, Peekaboo?
The MVP of the series for now, Gunjin. Down the line, maybe more. Dude, the pathing was ridiculous. A really solid showing for you in this series. Before I let you go, I do want to give you the opportunity to throw out any shout-outs.
Shout out to all my teammates. I mean, we definitely put out work. Shout out to Raichu for getting like 12 games in today so he could play, just powering through games so he could actually qualify and play for this. So shout out to him for putting that effort in. And then shout out to the org that picked us up, No Fear. And they've been great for us, and we're happy we get picked up and we can actually move forward with an org that is really believing in us and putting resources behind us to make us the best team we can.
Well, it really showed today on the Rift. Peekaboo, thank you so much for joining us for the post-game interview, my man.
Thank you very much. Have a great night, guys.
Thanks, you too. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude the first broadcast for Mid-League Season 3. No Glaive to potentially win the championship. The throne is wide open, and you can catch more Mid-League action every single week on Wednesday nights. Thank you so much. Shout out Dory K in the analyst desk for helping out the production, making me and Gunjin look absolutely fantastic when we were out on the Rift behind the mic. Hope everyone has a good night. And with that, peace out.
Just trying to defend Theoden. How could you do it to this man?
I was gonna say that everyone was calling me delusional.
Sometimes you take a bunch of damage so that you can deal a bunch of damage.
Going back there, that's gonna be sub pushed way far back, but what are you doing? Gonna get caught on out. JDK gonna get stunned on up, and now it's
That's you on second. Nice.
so much damage.
There's
one more. That saves you. Take it out of.
Look at this.